Today, RC drivers, we're gonna have a fun indoor mini crawling adventure. Check out that course behind me. I'm at the Hobby Center in Newtown, Connecticut, and I have a brand new crawler that we're gonna drive on it. It's the latest version of the Hunter from Hobby Plus, the CR-18P version 3 platform. They made a lot of upgrades to this, including a brushless system. Let's get it out of the box and take a closer look. So I've actually driven the T Hunter before, version 2. This truck was pretty capable, so I'm excited to see how it's gonna do with all the changes that they made to it. Let me just show you really quick before I open up the box. I know I said I was going to get it out, but there's a couple of important things I want to show you. The new super soft tires, 1.2 inch, heavy duty drive shaft, Evo transmission, full metal. That's really cool. Oil filled shocks, servo and axle. We saw that before. Hobby wing system, the Mini 24. This is a worthwhile upgrade here. Optional 27% rear underdrive to the rear axle. Have a large 45-degree steering angle. Oh, and then the aluminum chassis. This is another important feature. 5-degree angle on the skid plate, which adjusts the motor mount. But let's get this out of the box so I can show you all these features. So let's see, we get an instruction manual and then USB charger, box wrench, even give you a manual for that Hobby Wing speed controller. And guys, this thing is brand new. I haven't even opened it up yet. Just brought it right to the course. Check this out, really cool looking rig. It's kind of like a Mercedes utility rig. I've seen a couple custom builds with this rig. You can really go wild with these machines, but that's gonna look really awesome on any trail. Here is the radio system that it comes with. And it's one of those FlySky radio systems with all of the trim functions here. The dip switches, I don't believe work on it because it doesn't work with the Hobby Wing system, so just a heads up there. Nonetheless, it's a comfortable radio, small radio system, but let's take a closer look at the T Hunter. Really cool details on the body. You got the snorkel, the windshield wipers, even the door handles, big brush guard on that front bumper, LED lights in there too, and then spin it around. We've got the utility rack on the back, and in this little box, if I remember correctly, is where the battery pack goes. Let me pop this open. Yep, there it is. There's that battery, 600 milliamp pack. I'll pop that back on later. I gotta actually go charge it, but LED lights in the rear, and then there is that aluminum chassis plate, and there's that 5-degree angle I was telling you about. So that's gonna help when you're going over obstacles, just less of a surface area that could potentially grab on anything. There's those oil-filled shocks. Actually, let's just check out the plush suspension. Yeah, that's gonna work really well. Love the articulation on these cars. Servo on axle setup. It looks like just your generic servo, and then a portal axle. So this is gonna give you the clearance you need. Actually very scale for the style of truck it's on, but they've got metal gears inside. And then again, the rear has the underdrive. The center shafts are heavy duty now, and I don't think I could get the body off of this one without some major disassembly. Nope, I was wrong. It's got a magnet on the back. I totally forgot about that. There is the FlySky receiver that made up with the radio I showed you. There's the Hobby Wing speed controller. And everything nicely wired, of course. Then down below the speed controller housing is the single speed transmission setup. All metal gears on the inside of that. Like the other Hobby Plus RC cars, we've got bushings throughout the driveline. So fine if you're just kind of putzing around, but if you're gonna be running a lot, definitely wanna check out their ball bearing kit, and they do have a ton of option parts for this rig. Before I get into all that, let's go drive it. So you guys have seen this course before. It's the Hobby Center located in Newtown, Connecticut. So if you're local, definitely stop by, check out this place. Awesome hobby shop. And this little crawler course is a lot of fun, and it really challenges these small scale rigs. So let's start off by checking out this slow crawl that this brushless system is supposed to give us. That's about as slow as I could get it. Look at that. That is a nice slow crawl. Let's try something a bit more challenging for that speed controller setup. Knock it back down to a nice slow crawl. Good forward progression there. Maintaining its speed. You can see that rear dragging just a little bit. You can see those front tires spin a little bit more. Really pulling down that front end. Look at it, it's planting it. Let's just motor up. Nice. We need to check out this 45 degrees of steering angle, so I'm just gonna crank the wheels here. Yeah, that turns really well. That servo's got some holding power. Nice. You can caught that rock spinning around a little bit. It's Just gotta choose your lines, you're good to go. Oh, that was awesome. I like that bridge setup. Angle on this bridge is pretty gnarly. Look at this, guys. I could roll over if we didn't have those ropes there. That suspension work. Just love the slow crawl. Makes it so much more scale. I mean, this rig was good before. They made some really good changes to it. And this is a tricky spot. Usually trucks will roll right there, but nailed it. Even good clearance from the front bumper. Of course, I got to do the rail side, right? A little tricky with the portal axles. Actually, no, it should be better with the portal axles. Ah, nice. It just helped glide right down. Let's see if I could show you what that angled skid does. So we should have some better clearance here. Actually, we've got such clearance with those tires. Don't even have to worry about that skid. So the one downside that I found with this, and I reviewed the Rushmore, the new V3 as well, is this transmission setup is pretty loud. So you could, of course, go ahead and pull it apart, just pack that thing with grease to quiet it down, but it does get a little annoying after a bit. And here is where we could use some weight. So before I mentioned that they have option parts for it, they actually have a lot of brass parts. And maybe some brass knuckles up front. We'd get more traction out of those tires, and we'd probably be able to clear this. Hobby Plus made a bunch of awesome changes to this, but you know what, guys? The best one's probably the price tag. Right now, it's $159.99 for a brushless, ready-to-run 18 scale crawler, all metal transmission, oil-filled shocks. That is a pretty good deal. Down in the comments, let me know your final thoughts on the T-Hunter. For me, again, I'd like to see it a little bit quieter and maybe some metal links. It does have composite suspension links, and I think V3, they should have gone metal. But other than that, some incredible changes to this. I'll have some links for it in the video description below.